It's time for GMA3. Arctic blast. Millions of Americans waking up to bitter cold, below zero temperatures in parts of the Midwest, with the frigid air moving east and stretching to the south. Ginger is tracking it for us. Wayward Waymos. The growing concern over driverless taxis. Caught on camera in one school district passing stopped buses. How that school district is fighting back. And we're returning to Pandora. And the world of Avatar. Director James Cameron joins us to talk about the latest chapter in the blockbuster franchise. It's time for GMA3.
Hey there, good afternoon. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Ginger Z here with Will Reeve. We are so glad that you could join us this Thursday.
Yeah, we got a lot coming up here. We have Travis Kelce, who's talking more about his relationship with Taylor Swift. Nice little Christmas gift for fans there, what he's saying about their life as a couple.
Looking forward to that. And our 50 States in 50 Weeks tour is in Alabama, the home of amazing seafood. And did you know this? Mardi Gras started there as well. Yeah, we'll meet the king of the Mobile celebration. That is coming up.
So fun. Okay, but we are going to begin, because I'm clutching my hot water here, with the coldest air of this season, that Arctic blast sweeping across much of the Great Lakes, the Northern Plains, and eventually here in the Northeast. We will be facing those record-breaking low temperatures to end the week. But Alex Perez, he is just testing it out for us first. Alex, how you doing?
Hey, Ginger, I don't have to tell you, this is the coldest air of the season. These are temperatures that we don't usually see until about January. Now, this Arctic blast is taking aim at millions from the Midwest all the way to the East Coast, several cities preparing for record lows. And all this comes after that powerful nor'easter turned roads into ice rinks all over the Northeast, causing dozens of crashes, including this plow truck just north of New York City that slammed into a car and caused a chain reaction crash. In Boston, an officer was injured after this police cruiser hydroplaned and flipped over several times. And now back to that bone-chilling cold and temperatures. Officials say this is the kind of cold that can very quickly become very dangerous. Here in Minneapolis, they are preparing for a bit of a rebound. More moderate temperatures are expected the next couple of days as this cold air now heads east. Guys?
Thank you, Alex. We really appreciate you being out there. And I have to say, it's that fresh snow that kind of propels us or fast forward us to the January-like temperatures. But we broke records this morning. Earlier, we were in the sub-zero category. Waterloo, Iowa dropped to 10 below zero. Aberdeen, South Dakota was 18 below, tying their daily record. We're going to see more of these daily records broken tomorrow from Chicago to Portland, Maine. And remember, these are actual air temperatures, so it will feel even cooler than this. And then in the afternoons, you say, oh, good, does the sun warm us up? And the answer is not much. It will struggle to feel like the teens say in Buffalo as we end the week.
Wow, that is quite cold and snowy in some places, so people got to be careful driving. Speaking of driving, there's a growing alarm over driverless taxis. A school district in Austin, Texas, is asking Waymo to pull its self-driving cars off the road during pickup and drop-off hours after a series of safety scares, all caught on camera.
What you're seeing is a series of close calls showing Waymos passing school buses filled with children. They aim to be the world's most trusted driver.
The Waymo driver will take care of you and keep you safe from point A to point B.
But growing concerns. In Austin, Texas, the school district says these self-driving robo-taxis are performing illegal maneuvers around stopped school buses, with red lights flashing and stop arms extended, prompting an investigation from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We've noticed a consistent, every week there seems to be just a few more.
According to officials, this has happened at least 19 times since the school year began in August.
Until the problem is fixed, they don't need to be operating on our roadways.
Waymo pointing to a software issue, telling ABC News, improving road safety is our top priority at Waymo, and we're deeply invested in safe interaction with school buses. We swiftly implemented software updates to address this and will continue to rapidly improve. A Waymo executive speaking to our Jacqueline Lee.
I don't think people should expect perfection. What's really important, though, is that we're learning from all the different scenarios that we encounter.
Hi, we are currently blocking a train.
The service, growing in popularity, has been caught on camera trapping passengers inside, promoting renewed concerns.
Get out the car.
Oh, hi! I'm sorry.
You can't get out the car.
In Georgia, videos showing a passenger trapped inside a Waymo blocking traffic. Waymo says safety is its priority, claiming its driverless cars have a much lower crash rate than human drivers.
On that point, Waymo does say that 91% fewer serious injury or worse crashes happen in Waymos versus human-driven cars over that same distance. So it is safer, but they do have kinks to work.
And we've done stories where we see people blow past school buses. Too many of them. So.
Oh, absolutely. It is a super smart car, but they still have to work out the kinks. Thanks, Will. All right, now to the Matthew Perry case. One of the doctors who pleaded guilty to supplying the actor with ketamine was sentenced yesterday. The first person to receive prison time in Perry's 2023 overdose death. Trevor Alt is in Los Angeles with more on this. Hey, Trevor.
Hey, Steph. So 5 people have been charged in Matthew Perry's death, but this was the first sentencing, and it was a very emotional hearing as one by one Matthew Perry's sisters and his mother stood face to face with this now disgraced doctor and told him the harm that he caused.
Anything before you go in you want to say?
The doctor who sold Matthew Perry ketamine leading up to the actor's overdose death is now in federal prison, sentenced to 2.5 years behind bars. Wednesday, Salvador Plasencia was face to face with Perry's family, crying and nodding in agreement as they said he betrayed his Hippocratic oath. Prosecutors calling him a drug dealer in a white coat for selling dozens of vials of ketamine to Perry in exchange for tens of thousands of dollars. At one point texting another doctor who's also charged, "I wonder how much this moron will pay." Perry's sister Caitlin saying in her impact statement, "Instead of protecting him, you exploited him." And Perry's mother Suzanne looking Plasencia in the eye, saying softly, "I just wanted you to see his mother. This is his mother." Before learning his sentence, Plasencia addressed the court, saying, "I failed Mr. Perry. I failed his family." Turning to them directly, saying, "I am so sorry." Matthew Perry had spoken candidly about his decades-long battle with addiction, opening up to our Diane Sawyer a year before his death.
Your disease is just outside, just doing one-arm push-ups, just waiting for you, waiting to get you alone.
And outside the courtroom, his stepfather, Keith, was asked if they agree with the sentence.
Does it matter? No, not really. Look, it's a tragic story, and, sometimes apparently nice guys do bad things.
Now, the judge did also reference how the other 4 people charged in Matthew Perry's death could be sentenced, among them an alleged drug dealer known as the Ketamine Queen, who admitted to providing the dose that killed him. She could face a much steeper punishment than 2.5 years in prison, guys.
Many thanks, Trevor, for that reporting. All right, so coming up here on GMA3, Dr. Narula is here talking stomachs and lower GI and all of this with discomfort, what you can do to make it better, and when it could be a sign of something more serious.
Welcome back. We have a GMA health alert for the many Americans who deal with digestive discomfort on a regular basis. With Crohn's and Colitis Awareness Week underway, now's a good time to ask, when is stomach pain just something you ate, or could it be a sign of something more serious? So to answer those questions and more, we have Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Tara Narula in the building. Great to see you, Doctor. Thank you, as always, for being with us. So we've all experienced gas, stomach aches, bloating, all the rest. What is the line of demarcation from when something is just a normal stomach issue to when you should go see a doctor?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is common sense. So certainly if it's something that's mild, it kind of comes and goes, you know your trigger, like I ate really spicy food and now I feel heartburn, probably not an issue. But if it's something where it's more persistent, it's more severe in terms of the pain, it's really affecting your quality of life, or you're having other symptoms like persistent nausea or vomiting or loose stools, at that point you may want to say, I should really get this checked out, and that may be with your primary care, a gastroenterologist, or even in the emergency room. And then one last point I want to make is a lot of times people feel discomfort up here, which is actually chest pain, cardiac pain, and they think, oh, it's just acid reflux, and they kind of blame it on that, and they pop Tums and take antacids. So anytime you feel anything up in this area, don't just blame it on, gastrointestinal, definitely get it checked out.
And I know this week is Crohn's and Colitis Awareness Week. And so let's talk about some of those conditions. What exactly are they? And then what are some of the early signs of these?
Yeah, Ginger, so ulcerative colitis and Crohn's fall under this umbrella of inflammatory bowel disease, which is different from irritable bowel syndrome, which a lot of people confuse. Inflammatory bowel disease means you have actual inflammation of the lining of your digestive tract. If we're talking about Crohn's, it's anywhere from essentially the mouth all the way down to the rectum. If we're talking about ulcerative colitis, it's just involving the colon. Tends to happen in people early, like 15 to 30 years old. It can run in families, so there may be a genetic component plus an environmental component. Some people have it more mild, some people have more severe, and it's characterized by these periods where you have flares and then you kind of go into remission. And the symptoms can be abdominal pain and cramping, again, diarrhea. You may see blood in your stool, which can be a concerning sign. And then some people can have fever, fatigue, weight loss, and even symptoms outside the gastrointestinal tract involving their eyes or rashes, skin rashes, or even joint pain.
You only find it by endoscopy or colonoscopy?
So they do blood tests, they do stool tests, and then also imaging, endoscopies, colonoscopies. That's how it's diagnosed. And then unfortunately there can be complications around it with bowel obstructions, and people will tend to get early colonoscopies because they may be at higher risk for colon cancer.
Now, doctor, a lot of people will try and manage their stomach pains, their stomach issues on their own with diet changes and over-the-counter medications. I am guilty of that. But what can actually help or make things worse?
Yeah, in some cases, it's totally reasonable to take things like Pepcid, antacid, those kinds of drugs if you know this is my typical symptom. But lifestyle can be a huge way to deal with gastrointestinal issues. So, for example, fiber, increasing fiber in your diet, eating a lot of whole foods instead of the processed foods, avoiding carbonated beverages or kind of sugary meals or greasy meals. Exercise, managing stress and sleep and hydration, that can all be really helpful. And then certainly talking to your doctor about what you might be doing, what you could be doing differently. And last, I will say sometimes medications can actually cause you to have abdominal discomfort. So you want to go through your med list and make sure you're not taking something that might be causing that as well.
Great advice, doctor. Thank you so much, as always. And coming up, what Travis Kelce is revealing about his relationship with Taylor Swift. We have our Swiftologist, Will Gantz, in the house for Pop News. Stay with us.
That's good. You know what that music means. It is time now for Pop News with Will Gantz, the one and only.
That's exactly right. The one and only. That's in my writer. Thank you for introducing me that way. All right. Here are the Will Gantz rules of talking about football in Pop News. Number 1, Sandra Bullock needs to be involved in a blonde wig and a Southern accent. Or number 2, Connie Britton needs to be involved in a blonde wig and a Southern accent. Or number 3, Glenn Powell needs to be involved in a blonde wig and a Southern accent. And lucky for us, it's option 3 today, because Chad Powers is officially coming back for season 2. Hulu revealing the news on Instagram, telling fans, if you ever commented season 2, when? This one's for you. The first season of Chad Powers streaming now on Hulu. And in the meantime, while we're waiting for season 2 of that, the drama of Mom Talk. And in a more recent development, Dad Talk is front and center at the heated Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 3 reunion, which is streaming right now on Hulu.
That's a cliffhanger. You just said there's stuff happening, but what's happening? We have to watch.
You have to watch on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
On Hulu.
Deal.
Also where Chad Powers season 2 can be found.
Thank you very much, Will Reed. That's exactly correct. All right, next, it's almost time for Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest, which is a 9-word official title. And if you think that's long, get this. The show itself is being called the longest in its history, with Chappell Roan, Post Malone, and the Queen of Christmas herself, Mariah Carey, all slated to take the stage. Another name you may recognize, just the K-pop Demon Hunters. They're also joining the lineup, and you can expect plenty of other stars, including Ciara, 50 Cent, Demi Lovato, Charlie Puth, Pitbull, and more. You can watch it all, hosted by Ryan Seacrest and Rita Ora, Wednesday, December 31st at 8/7 Central on ABC, and streaming the next day where, Will Reeve?
Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus, probably.
That's exactly correct. Yeah, the next day.
Do they start today? Like, that's a lot of people.
It is, I know. But they're also good, so I'm not going to complain about it. You know, set the DVR, do whatever you need to do. Chappell Roan's there. I'm there, too. All right, next up, Travis Kelce spilling the tea on his life with a showgirl. During the most recent episode of the New Heights podcast, Travis Kelce spilled the tea to George Clooney and Swifties everywhere with an inside look at his life with Taylor Swift. Check it out.
You claim that you and your wife haven't gotten in a fight in 10 years.
That's right.
Are you lying?
No, I'm not lying. Travis, shall we ask you the same questions?
Well, it's only been 2.5 years, and you're right. I haven't gotten in an argument. All right. Never once.
Honestly, neither of us are going to win the argument, so why get in it?
Okay, so fans online are shocked that Taylor and Travis have never argued in 2.5 years. Well, we'll get to see our own insight into their relationship because Travis is a part of Taylor's new docuseries, The End of an Era, which begins streaming on Disney+. December 12th. Are you buying it?
Willing to bet they don't argue in that show.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Like argue raising voice or just have a disagreement?
Right, there are different factors.
Yeah, like what? Maybe we should define argue.
I mean, as someone who is engaged to a Libra, and Travis Kelce is also a Libra, the fighting really, doesn't exist. They're very agreeable people. Yeah, that could be it too.
A little bit more time.
Yeah. All right, finally, fans are still going wild over Zootopia 2. The movie has now officially crossed over the $600 million mark at the global box office, and Shakira's song Zoo is blowing up online, with fans turning Shakira's dance moves from the music video into a trend on TikTok. This dance trend racking up millions of views on TikTok already. Zootopia 2, of course, in theaters everywhere.
We should all try that dance.
Okay, I pitched doing it.
We should do it. Let's do it.
And
somebody teach it to us.
Yeah, it wasn't met with such enthusiasm when I was like, we should try. Everyone was like,
you got us if you need us.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Shakira is a great dancer, though. It's hard to keep up with that.
That song's really good.
It's catchy.
It sort of sounds like Waka Waka, the World Cup anthem from 2010.
Waka Waka. All right, that does it for us. Coming up, Faith Abube is in Alabama for our 50 States in 50 Weeks. We'll be right back.
I can't believe Mardi Gras was started in Alabama.
Yeah.
Welcome back to GMA3.
That's right. Welcome back to GMA3. Tomorrow on GMA, pop star Jessie J tells us about her health battles, including breast cancer and her new album, which is her first in 8 years. Looking forward to that.
And I cannot wait to show you my adventure behind the scenes of Avatar Fire and Ash. Yep, that's me coming out of a trailer. I get to go into Lightstorm Entertainment, that's James Cameron's basically his sandbox, and experience motion capture and be turned into an avatar. So
that
you'll see
is
all of that tomorrow.
Cool. Yeah. Very, very neat. Can't wait to watch that. And coming up next week, Emily in Paris is taking over GMA. All of the stars will be in our studio live, giving us the inside scoop on season 5. Will?
This would be a great time to bring back Smell-O-Vision, folks, because I'm standing among some candles and next to the one and only Tori Johnson, because it's time for Deals and Steals, and she's coming to the holiday rescue. You've got great ideas for everything that's like $6, and what do we have?
First, I got to tell you that this segment is sponsored by PayPal. They are giving you the option to pay now or pay later this holiday season, and we've got so many great options for you.
We do.
Starting, as you said, with Nest. So they are the #1 luxury fragrance brand in America, the most exquisite candles, because they work with master perfumers from around the world to create these scents. So it's hard to pick a winner here. Mine is this holiday scent right here that is, yes, please. It's got pomegranate, a little mandarin orange, a little cinnamon, a little amber. It's got sort of all these fabulous notes. I think that one's not attached. Exactly. I know. Sometimes they're attached to. Exactly. That's another. They're all
it's the
really
New York. Yeah.
They're all really fat. No, I think that's the name of the company.
Oh,
That's
it's
New
Hearth.
York. There you go.
I like the Hearth, everybody.
There you go.
Sorry,
you got the New York in you too. You got the New York in you too. So we've got the Grande 4-wick. We've got also reed diffusers as well as wall diffusers, and the little baby votives there. So if you want to give the gift of incredible fragrance, all 50% off.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
These are so great. I can vouch for those.
Okay. Elemis, really great skincare, great for gifting or to treat yourself. We've got all of their bestsellers. Their #1 bestseller is this Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm. Cleans everything off your face from the day, kind of strips away the day, but leaves your skin nourished. So your skin doesn't feel that like squeaky clean. It feels the way it's supposed to.
Nice.
We also have, if you care about texture, that little white one right down there. Those are the dynamic resurfacing pads. So that's pre-moistened, each little one, and you just like one little swipe on your face, and it's really great for smoothing skin. So texture for that one. And then we've got their Pro Collagen Marine Cream with SPF. That is one that they sell one every 13 seconds, and it's a perfect anti-wrinkle moisturizer. So you get hydration, firmness, as well as sun protection because of the built-in SPF. Everything slashed more than in half, including the sets, plus We're getting free shipping with
Fantastic.
Elements.
That was 20 seconds, by the way, so they're on their way to selling their second one.
There you
since
go.
started
Okay,
telling us.
manicurists, really great polishes. I love their green line and their active line. Green line, these are colors that I love, cherry and this dahlia right here. And then I love that they make really great, their active sets, their whole active line is great for revitalizing nails that have been damaged, broken, brittle. If you've got problems with your nails, they've got a solution. Really easy to use treatments that work, all made in France. I love the little stocking stuffer kits we have as well. This one's called Ready to Party. All 50% off. These start at $6.
That's fantastic. You're just killing it today, Tori. Let's
All right,
keep going.
how about this? So, you like to have unwrinkled clothing, but don't necessarily love pulling out a bulky ironing board and setting it up.
You've described me.
Nori is the solution. You can steam, press, iron, 6 different fabric-specific settings. There also is a steam function on there as well, and it fits in your carry-on bag when you're traveling, and it's 50% off.
And a mirror if you're really vain
There
like
you
me.
go. There you go. Checks every box.
I might need to steal
To
everything
steal one
here.
of those?
Yeah,
okay.
I would travel with
feel
this.
like you're gonna like this one.
Yeah.
So touch these shirts from Buttercloth.
Whoa.
These were on Shark Tank. Robert Invested called it the world's most comfortable shirt.
I would
so
agree.
It's a 6-way stretch. It's soft, breathable, lightweight, and wrinkle-free. So when you travel with this, you don't have to bring your nori. If you're gonna travel with these,
all right, good.
all 50% off from Buttercloth. The guys on your list will be happy with this one. And then finally, we got one more down here. We've got these NYDJ jeans. These are all about flattering, great fitting, curve hugging, slimming. We've got skinny, slim, straight, boot cut. We've got all of the washes from the lightest to the darkest. Every silhouette, all 50% off. Plus free shipping.
What an amazing haul, Tori.
Thank
this is
you.
fantastic.
I
And
appreciate
you have
it.
even more deals this holiday season from our GMA window display, which everybody loves.
The windows are fabulous. You guys all know 50% off every brand in the window.
We drove by it last night, Amanda and I. She goes, look at those windows. They're great. I
Amazing.
said, let's
Thank
call
you,
Tori.
Amanda.
We'll figure something out. All right. Thank you to Tori and to these companies for these deals. You scan the QR code that has materialized on the bottom of the screen there, or GMAdeals.com. You check out the products. You stock up for the holidays. And coming up, our 50 States in 50 Weeks tour pulls into Alabama. Faith Abube is with a great crowd, bringing us highlights from the Yellowhammer State. Did not know that's what it was called. That's coming up on GMA3.
Welcome back. Our 50 States in 50 Weeks tour is in the coastal town of Bayou La Batre, Alabama, the seafood capital of Alabama. And if you're having lunch, great. If you're not, this next segment might make you hungry. Faith Abube is there in Alabama for us. Faith, how's it going?
Hi, Stephanie. We've been up since about 5 o'clock this morning eating some seafood here at Carolina Restaurant in Bayou La Batre. And we have the community members here with us. Some of them. Some of them are with the Mardi Gras Association. We'll talk more about that in just a second. But really, oysters and shrimp are part of this community. And we actually went out with a family of shrimpers to talk about the work they do. And we quickly found out that it's not just a job, it's a calling.
For Patrick Gormandy,
we work the edges of Mobile Ship Channel.
His office is a shrimp boat, working alongside his brother-in-law and nephew.
Nothing. Jellyfish. Yep. This is real shrimping right here.
Here on the shores of Mobile Bay, fresh seafood is a way of life.
It's the way that people made a livelihood off of the bay, Mobile Bay, for many, many generations. And it's very vital to keep that heritage going here.
When you've had a shrimp out of Mobile Bay, it tastes different than anything you could ever get at a restaurant.
Especially in the coastal town of Fairhope, once the home of Arthur Winston Groom, who wrote Forrest Gump.
Bubba Gump Shrimp. It's a household name.
Patrick and his wife Kathy have been running their own shrimping business since 2017.
Look at her go.
Honoring a family legacy in the maritime profession.
And we named it Heritage Seafood as a tribute to my father, who got me into the business.
It's not just a career, but you really have to love it because it's hard work. It is not an easy way to make a living.
Heritage Seafood offering a unique service at the docks. Shrimp sold fresh off the boat directly to the public.
To know that we get to nourish families, that they trust us to take care of their food for them. That's probably the best part of the job.
The Gormandys cultivating a loyal and dedicated following.
Patrick has gotten a lot of notoriety. It's almost like a little bit
like an opening day to a sporting event.
Customers eager to take home some of the haul.
This whole parking lot will be completely full.
Yeah, just
with
packed.
people waiting in lines with coolers.
For me and for my family, I think it's really important to know where your food comes from.
Heritage Seafood, now a staple in the community.
I told my wife, I said, I want to build a following. I want to be their fisherman. I want people to say, I have a guy. And I've always said I'd like to get another boat, and at this rate, we might need one.
And of course, Patrick rather, and his crew, they go out on the bay around 2:30 in the morning and they don't come back until after sunset. So a hardworking family, we're so appreciative they were able to accommodate us. But back to Mardi Gras, one thing we're learning here in Alabama is that Alabama was the first place in the United States to celebrate Mardi Gras. Usually you associate that with New Orleans, but no, this is where it all started. And this morning we have the Mardi Gras Association with us from the Mobile area with a special guest, Alan Lang, who was crowned king earlier this year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And your reign is about to end really soon, but you have a lot to tell us about Alabama.
Of course.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about, the celebration of Mardi Gras here and how it's different.
It's really a community organized event. We have multiple generations coming together and celebrating, and it's a little bit different from other places. I'm not gonna name them, but it's a little bit different from places like that because it's really centered around the community. That's the focus of it, to bring everybody together and allow us to celebrate together.
So what does it mean to be king? What do you actually do for the year that you're king?
You're really an ambassador for the city. So that means you're going out, you're going to different schools, you're talking at different events, you're giving speeches about what makes this community great, what makes the multiple generations of families great, and why we matter, why we're here to represent for our city.
Yeah, Alan, thank you so much. And thank you guys all for joining us this morning. You've been here with us for hours now, guys.
So neat. I've just learned so much about Alabama.
That was a lot of fun facts.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Faith, and everybody else there that stuck around with you. All right, coming up here on GMA3, get ready to step back into Pandora. Avatar, Fire and Ash director James Cameron joins us coming up next.
That's epic. Welcome back to GMA3. James Cameron has directed some of the biggest blockbusters of all time: Titanic, Terminator 2, and of course the first and second Avatar movies, and now he's back with a third. Critics are calling Avatar Fire and Ash an epic, immersive visual feast that must be seen in the theaters, and it is our honor to welcome in James Cameron to GMA3. Mr. Cameron, thank you for being here. It is an honor. It is a pleasure. So, we're all so excited for this movie. Avatar 1 came out, it came to you in a dream. Avatar 2, inspired by your love of water. Where did the inspiration for Fire and Ash come from?
Well, I think what people are seeing with this film is that it's as much of an emotional roller coaster ride as it is an action adventure film. And a lot of that comes from my own experiences as a father. Got 5 kids, family dynamics. I'm from a family of 5 kids. I remember my very difficult and anxious teenage years very clearly. Now I've been through it from the other side as a father. And when I was writing The Way of Water and Fire and Ash, my kids were all in their teens. And, as we all know, I think we all go through a lot of identity crisis or whatever you want to call it, lots of anxiety at that age. So I was, my inspiration comes from my real life here. And also, using real world human dynamics and human conflicts and so on to ground this otherwise very fantastic story that takes place in another world.
Yeah, Mr. Cameron, it's Ginger. So I was just with you a couple of weeks ago trying out the performance capture.
Hi, Ginger.
Hi, I loved the experience.
I think you got a real potential career here in the whole acting thing. If you want to give up being a world famous TV personality.
I had one line and I wasn't great, but directed by you, I was better.
Sure, you know that.
So I'm so grateful for that experience, but even more grateful that I got to see the film early because I genuinely felt like it was different in the best way than even the first 2. You said, the reviews say immersive, but there's something that you brought to this, even though these are fantastical characters that are 9 feet tall. Why are we all falling more and more in love with them?
Well, you saw our process and you participated in it, so you see how authentic it is emotionally. I'm working with world-class actors, you know, actors that have won Academy Awards, been nominated for Academy Awards, and they're with me. You know, I believe I'm seeing them do some of the best work of their careers. So it's that authenticity and that truth and that human heart that they bring to it, even though, like you said, they're 9 feet tall, they're blue, but we see people. What we see on the screen is people, and we relate to them because they're going through, you know, this really tumultuous time in their life, and we can relate to that, and we want to see what happens next. So, you know, you've got a 3-hour experience, but you're constantly leaning forward. Okay, what happens next? What happens next? And it's because we're following these characters, and we kind of fall in love with them, but we also see them go into some dark places, and we fear for them. I don't mean just whether they'll survive or not, but whether they'll ever be able to thrive again psychologically, and we follow them on that journey. And I think that's how the film is working. Yes, we've got the action, we've got the spectacle, we've got the otherworldliness and the cool creatures and all that, but we're trying to you know, kind of go to a deeper place with the characters you know.
Oh, and the ones that we'll meet, the Ash people. Wait till you guys see this.
Oh, incredible. I cannot wait to watch this film. Mr. Cameron, Stephanie here. Until then, we do have a clip. In this scene, your two villains are about to make a deal. Here it is.
That sounds like a fun weekend, but that's not what you really want.
What do I want?
What you've never had. An equal.
I was in already, now I'm even more in. And James, you wrote Avatar way back in 1995. That's when this all got started for you, and we had to wait a while for the technology to catch up to your vision. So with with technology proliferating the way that it does, what limits, if any, exist on your imagination to create these worlds that we all love so much?
You know, there's no limit now. We can do anything. It's just a question of, can we do it at scale and do it relatively quickly? You know, it's still, even with all of the amazing tools that we have available, it still takes me 4 years to make one of these films. I'd love to do it in 2, you know. And so I think there may be possibilities for us to create some new technological tools that bring the cost down by getting the entire cycle of the production shorter than it's historically been, and that's something that I'll be looking at. I've also got some other films I want to make as well. So you know, you get to be over 70, and you start thinking, all right, I got to make some priority choices here. And so, you know, so I definitely want to compress the production schedule. But, you know, that said, I also love the detail. I love operating the camera myself. I love working directly with the actors. I mean, I think we spent something like 18 months doing all the performance capture for Way of Water and Fire and Ash, and I love that part of the process. The problem is I like to get into the weeds and, you know, get my hands dirty, and you know, kind of the shooting of the film. I'm very hands-on that way, so I like the process.
Well, the process seems to have worked so far, Mr. Cameron. Thank you so much for joining us and for creating these amazing works of art, and we cannot wait to see this next installment of the Avatar franchise. It is just so great, and Avatar Fire and Ash is in theaters December 19th. Our thanks again to James Cameron. We'll be right back. Thanks for savoring your day with us. We appreciate you.
We do. And for more news, you can check out What You Need to Know anytime on Disney+. We hope you have a great day.
Have a great Thursday. See you tomorrow.
It's Baby Friday.
It is.